Hi everyone, it's Allie from ForeverHer. I'm so excited to be here. We have the wonderful expert, ForeverHer expert, Anna Yusim. Dr. Anna Yusim is a New York City psychiatrist, and she's also the author of Book Fulfilled. And I'm so excited. We are here to talk about mindfulness today, which has been a huge topic. Hear tons about this word and what it means. So Anna is going to share some wonderful wisdom and tell us about mindfulness. So welcome, Anna.
Thank you so much, Allie. It's a pleasure to be here with you again today.
Thank you
And
so
yes, so indeed, mindfulness, something that people talk about all the time, but what does it really mean? What does it mean to be present and mindful with whatever it is that you are currently inhabiting? The way that I like to think about mindfulness is threefold. It's looking at the three elements of a human being. So looking inside, looking outside, and looking up. And I'll tell you about all three of those. When you mindfully look within, that is connecting to your authenticity. That's asking questions like, who am I really? What do I most deeply want? Who would I be if all of these accoutrements of success, if all of these things that I've built up around me to define who I am weren't there? Who am I at the soul core level? That's looking in. Looking out is the connections that we have with other people in our lives. So much of our lives and who we are is defined by love, by our relationships, by the people in our lives, and how we're able to manage and negotiate those relationships. A really important principle in that regard is we don't draw into our lives who we want. We draw into our lives who we are. The people who we draw in are actually a reflection of us in some way. So everyone who is in your life is there to teach you something, and you're there to teach them. So that's what I mean by looking out.
Okay,
And
let me ask you one quick question about that.
Yeah.
If people feel that they are drawing in types of people that they actually might not think are optimal to have within their life, like as in their tribe, how do they switch that if that's a challenge for them?
That is one of the most important questions, and something that's been a huge part of my life for a long time, and also something I talk about a lot in my book. In my own life, I kept drawing in one after the other emotionally unavailable men. I kept saying, I want a relationship. I'd like to get married. I want to meet that special someone. But yet the people who would show up are these people who were ambitious. And when I was unavailable to them, they were so into me. But then as soon as the question of a relationship came up, they ran like the wind. So why was I drawing in all those emotionally unavailable men? It took me a long time to realize that the common denominator in that equation was me. It wasn't the men. I was drawing in emotionally unavailable men because a part of me was emotionally unavailable. And before I was able to draw in the kind of man who I really, felt could make me happy, and actually the kind of man I ended up marrying 2 years ago, I had to do a lot of work to open myself to love, to deal with my own fears of commitment that I hadn't even at that time admitted to myself. So that's an example of how we don't draw in who we want, and whoever we're drawing in is really a reflection of us in some way.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, so go on with your wisdom.
Yes, exactly. So we talked about looking in, which is authenticity, looking out, which is our connections with others. And the third part of mindfulness is looking up. Looking up is connecting to that which is greater than ourselves, whatever that means to you. That is what a lot of people encompass and define as spirituality. And that something greater than oneself could be God, or it could be the universe, or it could be Mother Nature, or a collective consciousness, or even a set of transcendent values like trust and love and hope and perseverance. And it's in that connection that we really define ourselves and find our core purpose, recognizing that this world isn't just about us, it's actually so much bigger. And so by looking in, looking out, and looking up, those are the three precepts of mindfulness that I feel really can help people find greater fulfillment in their life and become more themselves.
Are there any tools that you suggest for people to start these, acting on some of these things?
Definitely. The tool for looking in is asking yourself the question, what do I most deeply want? And when you ask yourself that question throughout the day many times, you start tuning in not just to what your thoughts say, not just to what your even emotions say, but start to try to tune into that still quiet voice within that can only be heard when the yelling of our minds, of our thoughts, and the intense feelings of our emotions can temporarily cease, to start to really listen to the soul. The more you ask yourself that question and seek to connect to your soul and intuition, the deeper you're going to get in terms of a true answer to that question. That's looking in. Looking out, it's really that principle. Looking at who are you drawing into your life and how is that a reflection of something about you? That's how you can look out and do so more mindfully, seeing everybody as a teacher and seeing everyone who comes into your life as somebody who's there to show you how you're meant to transform and vice versa. And then in terms of looking up, what I like to say to people is, if you believe that there's something greater and you need some guidance or clarity in the universe, ask for a sign, whatever that sign is. And ask for a sign to have that clarity, but for that sign to be not just any sign that you have no idea what it means, but a sign that is there that will show you in no uncertain terms what it is that you're meant to be doing or whatever clarity you need in your life. I have a lot more about signs and synchronicity, and also the danger of interpreting too many signs, because at the end of the day, we don't want to give away our power. It's really about you're asking for signs and connecting to something greater in order to own your power more, to be able to harness your personal power. So it's a fine line and a balance as to how to do that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your tips. This is absolutely wonderful. And I have a copy of your book right here.
Thank you, Allie.
So wonderful. We love having you at ForeverHer. We appreciate your wisdom, and hopefully we will talk to you soon.
Sounds wonderful. Thanks so much, Allie. See you soon.
You have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.